hello, all you lovely film fans. Welcome to the latest episode of the St. Mungo's Film Society podcast. As always, I am joined by my fellow film ambassadors, so everyone say hi.
Hi.
Enthusiasm is electric today, as always. So this week, they're very excited about this one because you get to say the word ass quite a lot. You know, even the chuckles away there, love it. Hey Ruby.
No, I have hiccups.
It's going to be an interesting one. Anyway, yes, our film this one time is going to be Kick-Ass. So Dave Lizewski is an unnoticed high school student and a comic book fan with a few friends and who lives alone with his father. His life is not very difficult and his personal trials not that overwhelming. However, one day he makes a simple decision to become a superhero, even though he has no powers or training. So, I think overall, this one's been quite a hit of a choice, except for Iona, because Iona, you didn't finish it. You didn't say anything. Right? So, it's directed by Matthew Vaughn and written by Jane Goldman and Matthew Vaughn, based on the comic book by Mark Millar, starring Aaron Taylor-Johnson, Nicolas Cage, and more thing, Fatima? And Chloe Grace Moritz. So, the first thing to talk about it is the cast and characters. So, the thing with Dave Lizewski, in the comic, he's blonde for a start. I thought it was very different. But anyway, Aaron Taylor-Johnson.
Woo!
Seen a bit of fan favourite there. How do you feel of him playing Kick-Ass? Any thoughts or opinions or anecdotes? Dare I say it? Lexi.
I thought he was a really good, he played the role very well.
In what way?
And the way where he wasn't very serious.
Okay,
He
yeah.
was he had a dream and obviously he...
Alright,
Like that Rapunzel song.
I had a dream. One day.
No, he, I don't know.
He dreamed to be a superhero.
Yeah, and obviously it didn't basically happen.
Yeah.
But I think he played the role very well and he was a really good looking actor. So.
Speaking of which, Fatima, what's your thoughts about Aaron Taylor-Johnson?
I feel like it was quite unrealistic that he couldn't get any girls.
You agree?
I agree.
But again,
yeah.
he does though, in a kind of weird way.
Yeah, because he pretends
gay
he's
guy.
gay.
He's so creepy.
But I think we admit that some parts of the story don't really date well.
No.
I
No.
can't believe the girl wasn't even mad about that.
Well, to be fair, one of the changes from the book to the film, in the book, she calls him a pervert for faking and disowns him. They don't get together in the book.
That's what I was expecting to happen.
Fair enough.
It's fair enough.
same.
So, because Mark Millar, who's actually from Coatbridge, who wrote the book. Yeah, Coatbridge. You know, from Cumbernauld.
Cumbernauld.
Guys.
Guys, that's not nice.
No, I totally understand. Right, so one of the things he said to Matthew Vaughn I thought was quite funny. He asked him, why did you turn my book into a chick flick? That's because it's the love story, so it's like, wow, it just shows you how dark and violent the book actually is as well. But yeah, so that storyline about thinking that he's gay and so on, as funny as it is, because
It was.
right, it's pretty funny.
Yeah.
It's pretty funny. I mean, obviously, teenage boy, he's going to be getting with the most popular girl in school. I mean, he saw an opportunity and went for that. He took it. You know, it's a bit stalkery and, you know, deceptive.
It was quite smart though.
It was
I
quite-
wouldn't think to do something like that, you know what I mean?
Good.
No, like,
You know, but you've seen it in other movies before where they pretend to be a certain person.
What movies?
what movies
What?
are you watching?
No, I can't name the movies that I've seen.
It's like a face-to-face picture of catfishing, isn't it?
It's just like secretly.
Was it?
I don't need to.
Driving past McDonald's to an undisclosed location. Just a day for Lexi.
It's always picking on me, guys.
Anyway, yeah, so one thing I found quite interesting was that, but for me it's weird because I feel like it's like a punk rock version of a comic book film. It's very anti-comic book, there's something quite refreshing about it, even though this film was made over a decade ago. When you watch it, it still feels quite fresh and something different given the current landscape of constant superhero films. What I love about it is one thing I always hate about when a film now is people always fly in these movies. You know, he's like, I'm sick and tired of going to film and see someone flying. It's so exhausting. But the opening scene in Kick-Ass, do you remember what happens?
Guy kills himself.
You say like that, Fad, like so impressive. No, I think he was deluded. He thought he could. He didn't actually go, I'm going to kill myself. He thought he could fly with his big fake wings, and he fell into a taxi, killing himself. So it was always like poking fun at the genre as well. It's weird. It's almost. I think a lot of our films in this podcast have always been films that pay homage to the genre and play against it at the same time. So like It Follows, which is quite a popular choice amongst the group, especially Iona, I love that film. You know,
That was so creepy.
I hated that.
Still
yeah,
get nightmares.
so there was that. But anyway, so for me, other characters, I think there's one standout character besides Kick-Ass himself. Who do you think that is?
Oh,
Hit girl.
Hit Girl, brilliant.
I know her
Do we all like Hit Girl?
I love her.
Yeah.
She slays.
I can't.
In the book as well, she's actually a lot younger. She's a lot
How
younger.
young can she get?
I know, she's like 8 years old.
What is
How
she?
old is she in the movie? I thought she was like 6 in the movie.
So did I.
No, she's about 12, 13.
Really?
You know, older, yeah. But she's actually young, a lot younger. And they changed the backstory between the Big Daddy story. You know what was in it?
Daddy.
Yeah. I don't always pick these movies. You know what I mean? So,
Sorry, it was an opportunity, guys.
it was an opportunity. So, his origin story got changed as well. In the book, he's just basically an obsessed comic book fan who's almost like institutionalised his daughter to become a superhero. You know, so already that's quite a dark upbringing. So you think that's quite messed up. In the film, what's Big Daddy's backstory? Do you remember? Why did it happen to Big Daddy? Is he an assassin? Police officer.
But it was like
No, he was a police officer. Anything else?
and like his son, her son, his son.
He
No,
got
his daughter.
Go on, Sophie, tip one.
He got framed by the, I can't remember his name.
Frank
Moritz.
D'Amico.
Yeah, that guy. And then his wife overdosed when he got sent to jail.
And during which, what happened?
His daughter was born.
His daughter was born. Yeah, so Big Daddy's character, he was a DEA agent, one of the best in the city. So to the point that the organised crime felt threatened by him. So Frank D'Amico orchestrated it along with some dirty cops to frame him for being a drug dealer. He got put in prison, during which his wife couldn't handle it, killed herself, and Millie was born.
An awful lot of people are killing themselves.
Yeah.
He said an awful lot of people are killing themselves.
So that was intentional. That's more like, unlike the first one. The first one was just get the guys deluded, you know. But speaking of which, you know how we say it's quite dark. There's a line in this film because obviously he's doing his training montage, and the one line kind of sticks with me. He says like every serial killer, just watching is not enough.
What?
Remember this?
I don't remember.
You remember
I
that at
don't
all?
get that.
I
No.
remember it.
Remember that? Yeah. So it's right before the muggers when he basically gets stabbed in the car.
yeah.
Oh,
Right
yeah.
before that,
Yeah.
he goes, so he goes, just like a serial killer, just practicing watches not enough. So it's kind of like that kind of dark parallel there, isn't it? So I was quite interested, a quite interesting view on it because it takes something quite messed up in someone's head to go realise, I'm going to go fight crime. You know, he's just a normal student, so
I'm gonna murder someone.
you can murder someone. Yeah, so exactly, it's that kind of parallel. I thought that was quite interesting. Anyway, so Hit Girl, definitely probably the most popular character of the whole book, who's got her own spin-off comic as well. What are our thoughts on Hit Girl?
Slay.
Icon.
Powerful woman.
Powerful woman.
Stand her ground and don't need no man.
Actually, don't they know?
Maybe because she's 12.
No, but like the guy, what's his
Big Daddy.
Kick-Ass
Oh.
needed help. No, Kick-Ass asked.
Big Daddy.
No.
No.
Not yet.
If she needed help and she done it all herself.
He's like, it's okay, I've got this. She's got
Yeah.
$3 million in a suitcase and
Yeah.
she's driving a car.
I know.
Does anyone else notice that? She's driving a car. But in the next one, she drives a motorbike. So yeah, that's a lot of experience. What's next? A helicopter? But yeah, I found that quite interesting. Yeah, so there's something weird, and almost her costume it's almost like a schoolgirl element to the costume. You think of like the kind of tartan skirt, you know, and the kind of pigtails, the colour of the pigtails, all that kind of stuff. But it's almost like we first time we meet Big Daddy and Hit Girl in their other selves. It's almost like, oh, it's going to be a nice father-daughter bonding moment. What happens then?
He shoots her.
He shoots her. You go, and she's this cutely innocent girl, but it really hurts. So it's okay. It's like being punched in the chest. It's like that also hurts. You're like, oh, it's really nice, and then they go to the bowling alley because there's a birthday coming up, and she asks for what? A puppy. And he's like, oh my god, yeah, a puppy.
And he gets her that night.
Butterfly night instead. So already, it's on the exterior, it's this really sweet father-daughter relationship. But if you actually look deep down into it, it's pretty messed up.
Yeah.
It's pretty messed up. I mean, the hit girl at the age of 8 or 9 is so proficient with every weapon going. You mean she can throw knives, she uses staff, she uses guns, night vision goggles, the whole lot. You mean, and it's so messed up. But isn't it the idea though about how his rage, his guilt for not being there for his wife is manifested? For not being there, being jailed the entire time, it's actually been channeled into Hit Girl, who's basically been raised as a weapon. That's what she is. She's not a girl anymore, she's a weapon. But remember, she was staying with Marcus, who's his old partner. I think the distributor of the film said, well, if you want to release this film, you got to make Hit Girl older and drop a lot of the swearing. To Matthew Vaughn went, nah. Okay, so what he did was he funded the film himself. He funded it himself, yeah. And so what happened then was he hosted like a dinner party because he was a film producer. He produced films like Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels, Snatch, films like that. And this is kind of his first foray into directing after a film called Layer Cake with Daniel Craig. You know that one? So he thought, I'm going to money myself and do it myself. So there you go. That's how we have Hit Girl in her perfect form. Dropping C-bombs, you know, F-bombs left, right and centre. So it's good fun. It's good fun.
Not a baddie.
Hmm?
Not a baddie.
What a baddie, right? I know what it says, a sleigh.
No.
It's not a sleigh. Not a sleigh, okay. Anyway, let's go on to our next character.
Big Daddy.
Can we not just say like BD?
That's even worse.
Like,
It sounds
that
worse.
sounds like
Oh my god.
How did you not hear that?
We're gonna need to
Let's go
come
Nicolas
this
Cage.
out.
yeah.
Nicolas Cage.
He
Like
just
that,
knew what he was
Nick
doing when
Cage.
he chose that name.
Nick
Hey.
Cage. Who he's got a strong look-alike to Batman. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, because like halfway through the movie when like he pops out of nowhere, I actually thought Batman was in this film.
Hey.
You're like, this one's got Batman in it?
Every time Brent does and goes, wait, is this a DC movie?
Yeah. So, what I love about Nicolas Cage in this movie, I'm not saying the character's name again because it's too many devils, is the way he plays a character. It's in costume, he sounds and acts like Adam West Batman. Adam West Batman was like the TV show, and it goes kapow, and yeah, it's old school cheesy 60s stuff, and that's how he acts, and even the way he acts, the way he talks, he takes pauses like Adam West Batman. So is there an homage to that as well? But yeah, but I think we all agree. I think Morgan, you liked that scene especially about the nanny cam scene, and you look at what happened to Big Daddy in the factory.
Yeah,
Yeah, that was cool. But what do you notice about that shot?
it was a one shot.
It was a one shot, really cool. So yeah, when Kick-Ass and Red Mist, McLovin, crazy. McLovin is a superhero, crazy. Yeah, they go to the factory to get set, but the factory's burning down because we look at a nanny cam, what actually happened, and they plug the camera into the TV, and you got that shot of the camera zooms into the TV, goes through the TV, and we see what happens. It is Nicolas Cage kicking ass. It was so cool, and even the music playing as well was building up. Knives, shotguns, shooting and all that kind of stuff, just wiping out all D'Amico's henchmen in one fell swoop. Because Frank D'Amico's problem is he believes superheroes are stopping all his drug trafficking, right? But he thinks it's Kick-Ass. He knows not Kick-Ass.
Because we've seen him like not doing any of that.
No, we're not doing that. But that's another one we'll come back to in a second, was the idea of when Kick-Ass becomes the hero. right? There's something awesome about that scene, right? He's looking for Mr. Kitty, yeah, and he falls down and trips someone up by accident, and all the thugs are beating him up and so on. But then he decides at this one moment, this is like a fight or flight response. It's like, no, it's my chance to be a hero now. Whips out the batons and just goes to work. But and the wee guy, remember he's filming on his phone. He runs into the cafe and what's he shout? Do you remember? Anyone? There's a guy just a superhero.
Wait, what?
And he shouts.
I do remember.
You do remember that scene?
I
Right? Yes.
I remember
And he goes, it's
something.
awesome! And they all come to the window, start watching, basically kicking ass.
Oh,
And
yeah, I
getting his
remember
ass
that.
kicked at the same time. And then the whole video goes viral, it goes viral sensation. There's a MySpace page. MySpace, guys, was basically like social media.
Yeah,
I
we know
remember
what it
this.
is.
You don't have MySpace?
No, but
Yeah,
like
but we
I
know
know
what
what
it
it
is.
is.
It's like you update your fans
Yeah.
when you're dating it.
Yeah.
No, MySpace was basically it when I was in high school.
It's like, is anyone
Yeah,
seen
we
Victorious? You know
'Cause
that
they've
wee
got-
like thing that comes up and it's like
Yeah.
the wee blog on Victorious.
Yeah.
It's that. It's
That's
basically
what it is.
like that.
Like, we know what
You had to make your page,
MySpace
stuff like
is.
that, yeah. So our first
Love
social media was
Victorious.
MSN Messenger.
Yeah.
And then it became MySpace, and you had to basically add your top 10 friends, and people fell out because I'm my top friend. It's a whole thing, guys. Yes, so after so that's a whole throwback as well. So also the moment, the very first moment that Dave becomes Kick-Ass, he gets stabbed, he gets run over by a car. Yeah, but the car scene you don't see coming though, do you? You think he gets stabbed alone is bad enough. But then out of nowhere, smash, gets hit by a car. And that's when he gets ditched his clothes. Yeah. And then he gets the surgery, all these metal rods put in. So he feels like Wolverine. He can't get hurt. And that's when the rumour starts. And what's the rumour?
He's gay.
That he's gay, yes. So,
Nothing wrong if you're gay.
thanks, Lexi.
Like the last time I got accused.
Yeah, same.
That was good.
Let's not go back to that, guys. Then, so obviously Kick-Ass is doing his own thing, thinking he's the first person to ever do this. Then he goes to defend the girl that he loves, Honor. He goes to probably the most intimidating apartment I have ever seen in my life.
I know, that was really scary.
It was terrifying.
It was so
Like, I
dodgy.
wouldn't want to live there.
And he goes, hey, leave her alone, or I'll come back and break your legs. She's like, oof, he's hard.
Hello?
Do you know what I mean? There's like the actual gangsters there. I was like, oh, no, it's not for me.
No thanks.
But yeah, he tases the guy in the face, and then Hit Girl comes, stabs him through the chest.
And that's a bit
Drops
of
it.
a gruesome scene.
Have you ever seen it? It drops a big C-bomb. Remember that bit? Yeah.
That bit
What's
shocked me.
C-bomb?
What's that?
That bit shocked
It's
me.
shocked, but it's funny because you see all you see this little girl share a big C-bomb. You know what I mean? I think that's the purpose of it, is to make you laugh.
Now I know what
Yeah?
you're saying.
Thank you. I can't actually say that word
Yeah, I know.
on this podcast. We've said quite a lot of things in this podcast, Lexi. Mainly you. That I can't say.
Yeah, I know, I
Anyway,
realise now.
yeah. So I thought that was pretty cool. Another thing I liked about this film is his soundtrack.
Oh yeah.
The soundtrack was banging, right? Yeah. Look, Katie's not here. I know she's a big Prodigy fan. The opening song is "Stand Up" by Prodigy. Remember he killed himself because he couldn't fly. Turns out he couldn't fly. Yeah.
He could not stand up.
Stand up, and then the Omen plays when he's starting to fight the guys. But some people said they recognise the score from other movies. Well, tell me about that.
When he's fighting the folk in the warehouse, minute before it burns down, it's playing the theme from 28 Days Later.
20 Days Later and the film Sunshine as well. It's that same score. It's a guy called John Murphy who composes it. It used to be in a band, can't remember what band, but he's a composer. So you notice that happens quite a lot of crossover stuff like that. So I thought that was pretty cool. Bit of Primal Screaming there because the writer of the book Scottish. You got a Scottish band in there. Yeah, I just feel like it adds it's something quite inspiring, uplifting, fun, and just almost anti-establishment about this film, and I think the music really adds to that. It's unlike other superhero films.
It's
Which
like different in like a good way.
Yeah, it's
Like,
different.
it's not as boring as like a lot of them because they
Yeah.
all really do the same thing most of the time. But he's like
Yeah, and throughout it does. It does kind of poke fun, but not too much. Do you know what I mean? It's so much as an homage to it.
like all new characters are getting developed in the movie.
Yeah, exactly. Remember he's talking about if you expect some kind of I will avenge you, mother. It's like it's not like that. It's basically like, what happens if a real person decided to be a superhero?
Yeah, that's exactly what.
That's exactly what we saw. Like maybe some questionable things through it, like change, but that's exactly what happened. So now we can try and compare this to other comic book superhero films, right? So I think for a while we all kind of at first we're enjoying the Marvel Cinematic Universe at first. Even some of the TV shows, we love Wonder Vision. We did. That was good. We spoke about it was like it was on Friday, was it?
Fridays.
We talked about Fridays and Wonder Vision was so good. But then the Marvel Cinematic Universe has become so convoluted that
It's too busy.
it's too busy. It's like, what is actually
It
happening?
used to be like 2 films a year, now it's 3 shows, 4 films, and a spin-off something.
And you got to watch all them before you watch the next film. It's like, I don't want to do homework watching a movie.
That's what it feels like.
It really is. It's a proper task.
I didn't watch Secret Invasion,
Oh,
and it's
yeah.
probably going to be a big part of the new Avengers, but I don't care.
I have to say, I watched it. It was absolutely awful.
Yeah, I couldn't get past the
Secret
first
Invasion.
episode, I was just bored.
Yeah, it's awful film, TV show.
I don't want to be dead for to watch any of it.
Honestly, good.
Too much work.
Too much
I,
work.
I didn't like it.
It's okay to watch it. Yeah, I don't watch. I'm a DC girl.
No, I'm just. No.
I just choose none.
Loki was great.
Loki was great. I like Loki. But who in seen the Marvels?
No,
No.
Did you like it, Sophie?
It was quite good.
It was
I
actually,
enjoyed
it was
I
actually
liked it.
surprisingly alright.
I'll watch it
Yeah,
when it comes out on Disney Plus. I'm not paid
Yeah.
in the cinema.
Yeah, I get that. So we've got this whole landscape, and the thing about these films, and I'm digressing a little bit here, but there's a point. I'm digressing, right? Okay, just let you know. Thanks. So ever since COVID, there's been a big scare about cinemas closing, right? And that's one thing I feared during COVID, along with other things I mean we should have been fearing about.
Your second home was getting closed.
It was. You know what I mean? It's where I escaped my life. Wow. No, I don't. Like, I go to escape. Right? Escapism. Right? I thought I was going to be closing down. But unfortunately, big films like your Marvel films is what keeps them open.
Barbie.
But that's exactly what I'm coming to as we saying, yeah. Big films like these tentpole blockbusters, unfortunately, they keep the cinemas open because they cost me too much money to make. But they make their money back as well, and they take up multiple screens. So when you go to showing times, it's about 25 showings.
Yeah, and speaking about Barbie, I seen Mr. Johnson at Barbie.
Did you wear pink?
He actually didn't.
What?
What?
Even I wore pink.
That's just
Are you
wasteful.
kidding me?
My profile's me in a Barbie box.
That's the whole.
Are you wearing pink?
The whole point in Barbie is to go and wear pink.
Guys,
That's so disrespectful to Barbie.
Did you cry? Did you think it was really sad? I could not stop crying.
Oh my god, I didn't cry.
Like I actually went to sleep crying.
Thank you, Morgan. Stop tagging us to Johnston. Let's just stop digressing. So, yes. What's my point, guys? Honestly, so unfortunately, they've done this. I think superhero films are necessary evil because they keep. It's like Martin Scorsese says, Marvel films are like a theme park ride. You know, Sophie?
I think the Marvel films have become more family friendly because that's where they get their audience mostly from.
Yes.
But with Kick-Ass, it's a lot more adult, which makes it better.
Yeah, I get that. But now
In a way.
DC are kind of aiming towards adult content as well. Like, for example, we studied the Batman last year. No, you actually you cast Harley this year. Yeah, but again, even that itself is more adult content. You know what I mean? It's more serious, more aimed at. I know exactly what you mean. It feels like films have been kind of dumbed down a little bit. It's always have some kind of quip that has been put in here. I was like, just fight the guy. Do you know what I mean? But they're so formulaic though. Do you know what I mean? Whereas with something like Kick-Ass, it does follow the formula, but it feels so refreshing at the same time because it's real people doing it. And another change from the book and to the film. So Hit Girl and her dad were trying to think of a plan to get to the penthouse. Right? They had to get up and over it into his penthouse, right? So what did they buy? Jetpack. And then once he attached it, guns. So in the film, I think that was a funny moment. Flying up in his jetpack and so on. In the book, it's a flamethrower. They buy a flamethrower and he goes in and just starts burning everyone and stuff like that. So yeah, it's kind of more sadistic and stuff, and not as fun. So you can see why they can't actually, because you want to have like the American national anthem playing as he's coming up. Shooting all the machine. It was so good, and like probably one of the most ridiculous parts of it. But at the same time, you almost you suspend your disbelief. You believe it can happen for your enjoyment of the film. Do you mean you believe that a guy can learn to fly a jetpack in 45 minutes?
I think I could.
I think you could too, Mark. I think you really live by yourself.
I think I could.
You think?
I think I could do it.
I think Lexi,
Like 2 buttons.
you think so?
Yes.
Up and down.
I love how we all became actual physicists here, rocket scientists. So that's so cool. But yeah, I thought that was a really cool scene. But yeah, so like I said before, this is definitely a film for people who are sick and tired of comic book movies. You know what I mean? It's the same old stuff. Essentially, it is an origin story. It does have a sequel, which I'm going to get into because the sequel is absolute rubbish. Grace Sylvie is rubbish. For example, Evan Peters not in the second one. Oh! Yeah, Todd gets recast because Evan Peters went, probably I'm too busy and also the script's really bad. Bad, you know,
I love Evan Peters.
Who doesn't?
Him in American Horror.
So
Horror
fit.
Story.
Kate, is that his name?
Even when he had the
Yeah.
flapper hands?
No, no.
Oh,
Yeah.
no, yeah. Nothing wrong with that. It's not his fault he was born with it.
Always a freak.
Ableist, guys. Ableist.
And him in Jeffrey Dahmer.
What do you call that? A high freak?
Oh, they call him Lobster
Be
Hands.
careful what you're treading.
He was very popular.
Mr. Johnson.
Martin. Just saying.
And him in Jeffrey Dahmer.
And Jeffrey Dahmer as well.
Fancy him in that one though, I'm not gonna
No,
lie.
You know,
No,
you
something
didn't go.
about the murder.
No,
It's like, oh my god, I can fix them.
The glasses were
I don't feel like being. Yeah, it was
The glasses,
then. It
not
was.
in fact,
It
he
was
ate
then.
people.
No, it was the glasses for me.
No, it was like then he
Like, I knew he would not.
Oh, he's like, oh my god, he smells like people.
Ben and Jerry were friends.
There's nothing worse than people when I have to try and kiss them. Oh my god.
like a scene, like,
2D old people.
When he's working at like obscurity.
He's like,
Didn't expect that.
oh, it's so wrong.
He was built.
Oh,
He
We
doesn't.
He
don't
was
romanticise Jeffrey Dahmer.
we don't need to do
We
that.
don't need to
You
do
do that. And that's the thing though, isn't it? I think people do have this kind of hero complex. It's okay.
I can fix him.
He wouldn't kill me.
Like,
He wouldn't.
Richard Harris.
You're like, stop it, you kill people. Ted Bundy, I mean, oh my god, Zac Efron was so hot playing Ted Bundy. He killed people. So we're going to please save us.
God, I don't care. This is actually a point about that. The new Hunger Games prequel. I hear everyone talking about how they think President Snow.
He is so not it. He is so not it.
Damn
I
you!
hate him.
He looks like Draco Malfoy.
See when we're see when
Potter!
see when we're in the cinema, her and Katie will not stop laughing because Sophia and Katie would not stop giggling over President Snow, and they were like,
He's so
"Oh my god,
crusty."
he's so dreamy. I love him so much." I was like,
child murderer.
I was like, no.
Oh, he killed Finnick.
Spoiler warning.
It's been out for like 10 years.
You just watched it the other week, though.
I know,
I haven't seen it.
I enjoyed the Catch and Fire one, but I didn't enjoy it. I'll be honest with you.
Why?
Let's stick to kick ass. Yeah, what's this? Honestly, thank you. That
Do
wasn't.
my thing. Watch yourself.
Watch yourselves. So yeah. So again, so I'm quite refreshing about this. So I want you to think about what your favourite scenes were from this film. Top of your head. Take a wee second or two as I vamp for the people at home listening. Keep vamping with some kick ass. Dave Lizewski. Is anyone got a hand up? Ruby.
Right, basically, I like the scene when, according to Fatima, he tried to kill himself, but he didn't. But it was really funny because when he jumped, I just thought it was so funny how like it looked like he was going to like actually like hit the wall and like make it over, and then he didn't. He just like face planted.
Yeah, it was like this cool heroic moment. Like, yes, he's gonna fly. The music's playing.
The wings.
The wings like, oh wow, he has such confidence in his face.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The reason I like it is because see the wings. They look like he took like years to make them, and then he just like it was so funny. Like this was before I fell asleep, right? But
Go ahead,
but basically, it was just he looked like he'd spent years like making them just for them to like die. But like Yeah.
Amazing. We're gonna go Lexi next, then I want to go.
Right, so this is going to be like a weird favourite scene, but you know when like he was fake tanning her back? Right, no guys, let me
You committed. You
No, but
committed.
let me talk. It's like,
Sorry, Lexi.
it shows how like I don't know,
Peter
it shows
Wayne
like how like realistic like the kind of movie it is instead of like a normal superhero film where like they're fighting crime 24/7. He's fake tanning a girl's back because he's meant to be gay. I like the way it just like came out.
After fake, I like my fake tan. I gotta admit, honestly, it's horrendous.
No one
asked.
And then I get like some like tan on my finger and stuff like that.
No one needed to know that.
It's really annoying.
No, but like
I'm not
I
from
like
Jack and
you
Beach
get
my
like,
I think it
it's
myself.
like not all that like
Yeah, it's not like Tony Stark is going home to his billionaire mansion and stuff
Yeah,
like that. He's
it's
like,
fake
I you
tan
tan
on
someone's
girl's
back, mate. Wrong with big time.
and it's just it came out of like nowhere.
Yeah. And it's again, it's almost like she wanted that gay best friend.
Yeah.
So he
Like
plays
who
up to
doesn't
us.
want a gay best friend?
Of course.
I can reach my own back. It's really weird.
Yeah, same. I can tan my bit myself.
Yeah, I don't know, but no, because I'm like, what if I miss it? So it's all
What we call it, just like
I have
a
quite
line.
my bit is
Shoulder
same
pads.
like that.
It's like, wow, you look like a barcode. Anyway, I don't. You're talking about what scene?
My favourite scene was when he's out with that girl and like they have like a deep conversation, and then he thinks that like he's like opening up to her, and then she's like, oh, I'm so happy I can have like a gay best friend, and then he's like,
What?
It's okay calling that, isn't it? That's okay saying that.
yeah.
Of course.
It was just that I thought it was funny the way that his voice like
It's
changed because he really thought he was like getting something. Like he thought he was like
No, but
Like-
wasn't he like starting to think, is he really gay?
No.
He believed that she was interested in him.
Yeah.
He doesn't believe that, and then it cuts to two pals who are sitting in the booth along, and they're like, say yeah, nod their heads and agree with it. Just say you're gay. You say like and do it, and he does it. That's how the whole thing started. It's, again, hasn't aged well, but
But like you got to take it as humour.
you take the humour of it. No, I totally agree with that. Any other favourite scenes from this movie? Back to my go.
Any scene without his mask on.
Oh, even he beat up bloody Pop, his face all
Yeah,
beat
he
up.
kind of looked a bit like. Oh.
yeah, he's
Oh,
got
no.
there cleaning up his
Bit of a
wound.
bad boy.
Daddy.
The scene where they're getting tortured.
No.
What?
No,
your
like,
favorite
no.
scene. So
It was a really good scene.
They're sitting there, and then it's pretty much set up like it's like realistic. It's on the news and everything, and then Hit Girl comes in the night vision and just kicks ass.
Yeah.
flashing like
Yeah,
The
no,
flashing lights, so it's really
like-
good. In the night vision goggles point of view, that will kind of bring it like a video game, that bit. But that, you're right though,
But when you're like tied in on the chair, getting like punched
because
in that.
it's the one bit that I was first time watching it. The question is like, is he going to die? Is he going to die in this? Because he made a good point. It's like, have you ever watched American Beauty? Because spoiler alert, guys, for American Beauty, don't watch it. It's just like the average film, overhyped. He does die at the end, but he's narrating the film.
But do you think it's like a very creative scene? Like you used to think of like someone like what is it, broadcasting like unmasking thing while they're killing them.
Yeah, exactly.
And like
It-
they're like the glitching like shoot. I've never seen like in a movie when they're trying to like fight like someone like flashing lights.
You just
like,
strobe lights and so on. Yeah. So you talk about the unmasking scene, the video. Again, for something that came out 10 years ago, there's something still very relevant about that. Do you know what I mean? There's something like it's someone doing TikTok. It's like, oh my god, unmasked kick ass, there's gonna be so many views, you know what I mean? But let's make it about me. You know what I mean? So that, yeah, I like that. Anyone else got any favourite scenes from this film? Do you got it?
I like the scene with Hit Girl where the song, the one by Joan Jett, that one's like Bad Reputation. Is that not? Yeah.
Yes. My Generation or something it's called, isn't it? Girls of Generation. Is that the one?
No, Bad Reputation.
It's just called
Reputation, that's the one.
I thought it was just called Bad Reputation,
Bad
but
Reputation,
I started to doubt
yeah.
myself. But yeah, I think just the use of the soundtrack in that scene was really good, and I was just amazed when it
It's
came
so
on.
good. It's
Yeah.
again in a film. We got a needle drop.
Yeah.
So again, a needle drop basically it stops all the score, all the sound, as if someone literally stops the movie, drops a needle, and a song plays. At that moment, it's almost like that pause because it builds up, doesn't it? She's behind. she's in that scene in particular. She's in the alley, the corridor, and she's behind like a statue of some sort, and the music's building up, and you're thinking, oh, this is gonna be a big epic scene, and then needle drop comes, and it's just awesome. It plays against what's happening, but it works so well. That's why I think it gives that punk rock element to it as well. It's really cool. For me, it's the bazooka. It's like it's okay, it's under control. You're getting a bazooka. It's like bazooka, and then that's when the Dave comes up, the rocket launcher, and all that kind of stuff. That was funny. Yeah, that's what it does. It's as funny as it is violent, and the action scenes are still really good. I think sometimes action comedies sacrifice one thing for the other. You know, they either sacrificing action for the comedy and vice versa. This film balances it really well, and you've got this kind of hookup between Red Mist, who is McLovin. McLovin. I still can't get past the fact he's McLovin though. It's like you cannot play. I can't take you seriously. It's like you're not a superhero.
Meant to be like just this no right person.
And the girl's talking about it, it's like, oh, he's really hot. Yeah. It's like. It's McLovin. It's like, I'm sorry, no. And Kick-Ass is like, it's like we boys playing dress up in front of the first meet. You know what I mean?
Like, it's like, looking back at, like, it's like a dream from, like, when you were a child. You dream when you're older, you want to be a superhero. And
then looking back, you're like, that's a really stupid idea. Yeah. And then, obviously, and Frank D'Amico accidentally kills a Kick-Ass impersonator.
Oh, yeah,
that was terrifying. Right? This wee guy just going to work with a kick-ass party.
I thought that was him, like the real.
Did you think that was real kick-ass?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, fair play. And then
it's like they
came her next day. But again, that's the point. They said that Frank never actually got his hands dirty. It was always someone else killing someone so it can't be traced back to him. But that's the first time he killed someone in a long time, shot him, and then starts taking cocaine in the office. As Chris walks in, and that's where the grand plan comes in. Yeah, that's where all the homage to comic books comes in, because he believes that the only people superheroes can trust are the superheroes, isn't it? Yeah.
It shows how significant Kick-Ass was to him and how worried he was about it and about his whole business. Like he knew it was gonna go bad, because if he was really careful about not killing people, so it couldn't be his fault. And then he just runs into this guy who could be Kick-Ass, and he just shoots him. It just shows how careless he was, because he was so paranoid about it.
Panic, yeah, definitely. It's totally irrational, because it seems like I say rational in a weird way, but he's like a cool-headed like mob boss.
Yeah.
Isn't he? Yeah. And then one time he got his hands dirty, he's like, this is a real situation here. But does it the entire time, it's Nicolas Cage and are doing all this stuff and stealing all their drugs and their money and so on. Can you have any point there? I forgot your hand was up there. Sorry. No, that's absolutely fine. Anyway, so yeah, again, before we start rounding up, guys, is there anything else anyone wants to add about Kick-Ass besides that Aaron Taylor-Johnson is so hot?
I just thought it was a really great movie.
Really great movie? Cool. So, as always, guys, we reached the part of the podcast where we give our verdict, where everyone gets to speak. This is the bit that Ashlyn loves the most, because Ashlyn sits back and listens in a whole chilled manner, and now she gets supposed to speak. So, do you want to start on my left or start right?
Okay,
Kes has to go. Kes has to go. Right, cool. So, remember the rule. No decimals. Okay, so out of 5, what are you giving this film?
I don't know, it's tricky. I would give it a 5 out of 5, but I'd like to reserve them for like my top most favourite films of all time. So I would want to give it a 4.5, but we're not allowed to do that.
No, but no.
So I'll give it a 4.
A 4.
But it was very, very close to a 5.
Honestly,
it was a really good film.
I remember the first time I saw this film in the cinema, like people literally cheered. Mm-hmm. Not only at the end, throughout. They cheered, I know. It's Phil Company Geeks. They literally cheered at the moment when he faced the criminals for the first time outside the cafe. There's a whole cheer section bit there. It was sweet.
I'm a sucker for a superhero film.
Yeah, who's not? Anyway. Ruby.
I'll give it a 4 out of 5.
Oh, reason why?
Because I didn't like when the dad died.
Oh.
Yeah.
Nicolas Cage.
But it was really funny, so
yeah.
not the death.
No,
God,
that's,
no.
that's fine on this point, isn't it?
No,
Yeah,
but it was
dead
quite
better
funny.
smart that.
No, I don't. You're making it out that I'm like some really horrible person.
I didn't say that.
I never
at all.
laughed
She
when
was
the mum
watching the
died.
movie, right, and she laughed at something else, but sadly the mum died in that moment.
Yeah.
So it looked like she was laughing at the mum
Yeah.
dying, but really she wasn't. She was laughing at me and Connie.
Yeah.
Didn't you say it got better after the mum died?
It did.
Yes, because the story.
I put
The,
that on
anyways,
my-
this has nothing to do with this movie. So,
Thank you. So, Iona, what are you giving it out of 5?
well, from what I've seen, I give it a.
She'll say.
I give it a 3.
It's close.
What did you say?
A 1.
No, I give it a 3 because I understand why people would like it, but it just reminds me of people that think they're superheroes, like the TikToks that are like, I do not sleep at night because the city of Glasgow
I'm
needs me.
Batman.
No, the city of Glasgow does not need you, and you're not Batman. Like, oh my god.
Can you imagine that happened? It's like, in Glasgow. Hello, I'm Kick-Ass. No, you're not. You're getting your ass kicked.
So it just reminds me of like people that are like, oh yes, I am Spider-Man, I am Batman.
It can only work in
Like,
America.
no, you're not.
It
Like,
can only work in America. It cannot work in Scotland. You're
exactly. Like,
shut up.
literally.
No.
So I do get why people like would like it though. Like how you said, people were like cheering in cinema.
cinema,
I
yeah.
feel like that this is my version of Barbie.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
this is my like
Oh,
that's
yeah, that-
my like yeah.
Yeah, again, that is like wish fulfillment as well with this, because again, deep down, when you're a wee kid reading these comic books, you did dream big of become a superhero.
Yeah.
No one actually does it. It's like when I was younger, oh gosh, Space Cowboy. You know what I mean? Like Han
When I
Solo.
was younger, I wanted to be Taylor Swift.
Or whatever I
So
want.
I can't really. Lexi, that's not nice.
Sophie.
I would give it a 5
Oh, go on, Sophie.
because I feel like it's a film I could watch over and over again, and I loved it.
Is
so
that what you
much.
judge the 5 ones? If it's something
Yeah.
to watch again, I think you're saying me.
Yeah, I would say it can't be like above a 3 if I wouldn't watch it again.
Okay, I like that, yeah. So, and again, you are a big superhero fan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was definitely very different, and I think that's why I loved it so much.
Yeah, that's cool. I like that.
Is this your Barbie?
Sophie?
4.
Reasons why?
I don't know if I have much. He looked really nice with glasses and curls. So.
I didn't like the glasses.
He looked nice.
Geek chic. Alright, thanks Sophia, that's a really in-depth analysis of why you like it.
Yeah, I know.
Next up, it's Fatima.
A 3 because it was really, really gory, but the casting of Aaron Taylor Johnson and Evan Peters was really
So you're not a fan of the gore?
no.
No, that's fair play, but Evan Peters and Aaron Taylor Johnson elevated it.
Yeah,
So if it was for the 2 in it, what would you give it?
a 2.
Not a 0. His hair was just so nice. I kind of agree.
His hair was
He-
nice.
He was aesthetically pleasing to look at.
So pretty.
So, if you think about target audiences, it'd be like he's attractive to look at and
Yeah.
watch the film.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's like not to get off track. I'll be done quickly. Like, you know how I said to you the other day that guy from the Hunger Games had a nice face to
No.
look at?
Is it
No.
the snow character?
Yeah,
Listen,
you know,
I'm
you
not
know,
talking about him, but he does have a nice.
you
I
know
was
who
talking
has a
about
lovely
Finnick.
face to look at? Troy Sivan.
No,
What a
I was
gorgeous
talking about
man.
Finnick.
I
And
think
Pedro
it's-
Pascal.
Like, I just
No,
like
no,
looking at his
no.
face.
You know how she said who
Yeah.
has the best? No, you know who has the nice looking face?
Pedro
To
Pascal.
look at,
Hell
I'm like,
yeah.
Oh, is it Malky? Name drop. I mean, it's just
Boyfriend review.
guys. Anyway,
Actually, I can't do that one more time.
Julia.
I'll give it a 4 because it's not normally the kind of movie I would watch, but I think it was amazing and I would definitely rewatch it. Heavy on the gore, like Fatima said, I agree with that. But like overall, I don't think that was like a minor inconvenience because
Yeah,
the
okay.
movie was good enough to make up for that. So
I think I picked a hit this one. Yes. Kieran.
I'll give it a 4 out of 5. Because, well, I would get a 4.5, but I'm not allowed.
No
But
decimals.
I'll give it a 4 or 5 because I quite like the gore in a superhero movie. Because sometimes, like, it's like somebody will get hit by Thor's hammer or get hit into a wall. Like, no. I've got a hole through you.
Yeah, it's a bit of sense of realism to it.
So-
I think that adds to realism to add to the gore. Like, if you get punched in the face with a knuckle duster,
You're
it's
going to
going to
bleed.
hurt. You're going to bleed. It's going to bust your face open.
That's why I quite liked, like, I really didn't like Falcon and Winter Soldier. But the only scene I did like was the scene where whatever the guy's name, John Sahan, when he was going at the guy on the stairs with the shield.
Oh, the fake Captain
Is that the guy who looks like the guy from
The fake Captain America.
Yeah, the
Who?
That's why I didn't like the show, but that scene was good because it showed like if somebody was to get hit with that hard Captain America shield, they would start bleeding.
What?
And also Aaron Taylor Johnson.
Oh, Sophie's such a lucky girl. So, Sophie, your turn now.
5 out of 5.
Why?
Because it's one of like the best movies ever.
What makes it one of the best movies ever?
Because it's funny and it's got a good cast and it's actually a good superhero movie for once, and you could just rewatch it forever and ever.
Yeah.
And it's in my media assignment. I literally write about it.
Correct. Lexi.
I give it a 5 out of 5 because I really, really enjoyed that film.
Really?
Yeah, I really.
Why?
Her face is like that when she's talking about it. It's brilliant. I love it.
I really enjoyed it. It was different from like all the other films I have watched. Because I usually watch rom-coms, guys, and horror movies.
But there's a rom-com to it.
Yeah, like it was, like, it was out there, it's like out, and the cast was really good. Like I liked the cast, like they were all from like different, like,
Yes.
like different like backgrounds.
Things
So,
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
yeah, different walks of life and so on, yeah.
Because like McLovin and that Avon thingy were in totally different films.
Yeah, and Nicolas Cage, one of the biggest films of all time.
What's
as well.
What's the one with the glasses?
That's Nicolas Cage.
Yeah. Oh my god, he could be a Delph. He could like.
No!
No!
No! No, he looks like.
That's why
No, wait, what's that guy? I was like the new movie on Disney, and the guy like
He looks like he's in a film with Pedro Pascal.
That's why
Like,
I like the film.
48 minutes we lasted to.
you should watch. What's that film called that he's in with Pedro Pascal?
The Unbearable Weight of
Yeah,
Massive
like so you should watch The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent because he's in it and then Pedro Pascal's in it as well. It's a really good movie. It's a really good movie.
So actually, you have the joy of following that up. So go for it.
I'd give it a 5.
A 5.
It was really fun. I liked it, and I just feel like I could put it in the background and like, do homework, and I wouldn't be productive.
Is that your scales? Like if I can have it in the background.
No, yeah, because it needs to be a good movie.
Okay.
And like the soundtrack is really good.
The soundtrack's awesome. I have to say that, yeah. And last but not by no means least, Morty.
I would give it 5 as well.
Oh, okay, yes.
Because I don't like superhero movies, but I like that. So it's up there, and I would watch it again. So it's already gotten like a 3.
Oh,
and
yeah.
then it was really funny and it really like made me laugh a lot. Like
Yeah.
a lot of movies do that, so that gives it another point.
Yeah, definitely.
I just really liked it.
It's really hard to make comedy right and get that action balance as well, and
Yeah.
it does it perfectly. No, I agree. Most of the films, obviously, for the podcast, I pick, so you know I already like them, so you already know my score is a 5. But I remember I went to what's called the I Write Festival, as in I, alright. Right? That's what that means, yeah. It was in Glasgow, and Mark Miller did a signing who wrote the book on it. Got my book signed and all that stuff. And I asked him a really good a question, well, I thought it was a really good question. Right? So the question I asked him was, see how he writes and adapts other people's characters. So he wrote the comic of Civil War. It's based on, he wrote that. He's adapted other superheroes. So how would you feel if someone else adapted one of your characters? So like,
That's a good question.
that's a good question, right?
Yeah.
He says,
Whoa.
he says like, it's like giving up one of my children. that's what he said. I was like, fair point. And that again, that Scottishness, he said, really comes through in his writing. It's the way I can use. I mean, it's because we were talking about it earlier. I know you're talking about it would never work in Glasgow.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why it's a film. It romanticises the idea of a superhero doing good. The message is there, but in reality, it's something quite messed up. It takes someone really dysfunctional to go out and do it. I mean, you see some of these homeowners and some of these TikTok videos or prefects, and the power gets to their head. You know what I mean? So I think of that. Yeah.
I have a name, but
Okay. Anyway, so we have come to the end of our podcast, guys. So I think, thank goodness we've got a good hit for this one, because in the past, some people didn't like previous films we've talked about the podcast. So, thank you, Lexi. Thank you. Not you, Iona, but thank you, Lexi.
You know what film was a good choice? Lady Bird.
Lady Bird.
I love
Yeah,
Lady
my
But not
Bird.
it follows. But not it
Best
follows.
film ever.
Anyway, so our next podcast
That good memories.
episode is going to be a
Christmas.
Christmas special.
I love Christmas.
Christmas one after that. I have a request for a Christmas one.
I love Christmas. I love Christmas.
Oh, okay, right now, live on air. Okay, go. That is the one we're going for, yes! We are doing Anna and the Apocalypse for our next movie.
As John said,
Sorry.
Well, that was
after that,
Um,
after that, watch Violent Night.
David Harbour. Oh my god.
because what we're going to try
What
and do is
a
because as a high school teacher, this time of
Well, he is
year,
a man.
when we get given cover classes, it's like, oh, it's okay, just put a Christmas film on.
Home Alone.
And it's always Home Alone or
I
Elf.
love Home
I have
Alone.
lost track of how many times I have watched that first half an hour of both those films.
Elf is
Enough.
terrible.
Enough.
You say Elf is terrible.
Elf is one of the worst movies ever made.
It's good, but until you're watching it in a class.
So we're doing Anna and the Apocalypse was a Christmas zombie musical.
Why not
I
Santa?
love
Musical.
It's a musical set in Scotland.
Why not Santa Claus?
Musical.
Yeah, about zombies.
No, the movie Santa Claus.
Oh,
Yeah,
I think it was Santa
and
Claus.
hopefully, again, they've agreed. We'll be joined by John McPhail, director of said movie, and producer Lauren Lamar as well. We're joining for the podcast.
Yeah, Lexi.
So pretty much, we'll set a date to record it and tell Lexi a different date. That's what the deal, and we'll do that then. But as always, everyone at home, thank you so much for taking the time to listen in to us talk utter nonsense about movies. It's always a joy, and this group I always enjoy to work with. So everyone, say bye.
Bye.
I'll be Mr. Johnson, I'll be your host. See you later.